What happens when 90% of the media is controlled, owned by 6 corporations? What happens when those same corporations are operated and controlled by a political ideology? What happens when the news is no longer free from bias? What happens when the news is no longer reliable and independent? What happens when the news is no longer trustworthy? What happens when the news simply becomes an extension arm of a political party? Fact becomes fiction, fiction becomes fact. When does news become propaganda? Identity creation? How does the average person who is under constant financial stress by design find time to research and discern fact versus fiction? Majority of people more prone to believe someone in power sitting behind a big brand news name. Do people, human psyche, tend to follow the majority mainstream viewpoint in fear of being isolated and or shunned? Mainstream is used for a reason: dominate trend and opinion. If a majority of people believe X, then X must be validated or true. Why do mainstream media heads within different organizations always use the same keywords and or catchphrases? Coordination. By who? Outside entity providing instructions? Do they count on the fact that people, human psyche, are more prone to believe something if heard over and over again by different trusted sources? Do echo chamber tactics provide validation, credibility to the topic, point being discussed? Threat to intellectual freedom. Would control over of these institutions, organizations, allow for mass control of a population viewpoint, re. a desired topic? Read again, digest. Would control over of these institutions, organizations, allow for the mass control of a population viewpoint, re. a desired topic? Logical thinking. When you control the levers of the news dissemination, you control the narrative. Control of the narrative equal power. When you are blind, what do you see? When non-dogmatic information becomes free and transparent, it becomes a threat to those who attempt to control the narrative and or stable, livestock kept, sheep. When you are awake, you stand on the outside of the stable, groupthink collective, and have free thought. Free thought is a physiological viewpoint which holds that position regarding truth should be formed on the basis of logic, reason, and empiricism rather than authority, tradition, revelation, or dogma.